LPBW, inside look at Amy Roloff. Chris Marek's expensive Oregon house revealed. Dear loves, welcome to TLC Drama. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel, LPBW Stars. Amy Roloff and Chris Marek are fan favorites. While they have only been married for a few years, fans already love their chemistry. The former began sharing her journey of finding love again on Little People Big World after her and Matt's divorce. Well, she and Chris made it work and got serious. Then, in September 2021, they announced living in a house of their own following their grand farm wedding in August 2021. Well, fans have been quite curious about their property. Here are all the details and an inside look into their Hillsboro, Oregon house. Popular LPBW couple Amy and Chris Marek have never failed to make the audience gush over them. In Little People Big World, fans love their chemistry and are proud of the former for finding such a good man to look after her. It is a known fact that Amy got a house of their own in 2018 after she moved out of Roloff Farms following her divorce. Then, she and Chris officially announced living in a new home worth $589,000 in September 2021. However, as of today, the cost of the house has increased up to $823,000. The property is spread across 3,767 square feet, as per Zillow. It boasts of 4 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. The striking feature of Amy and Chris's humble abode is that it is an open-concept home. In fact, the LPBW stars are living with extra space for a bonus room or a loft. Their kitchen is also quite striking, the very place from where Amy shoots her cooking videos as it is gourmet. It also has black countertops with shelves and cupboards made of light-colored wood. While Amy and Chris's patio is fully covered, their backyard has also been fully fenced. As far as more exteriors are concerned, the garage is on street and attached. The couple also has central cooling along with carpeted and laminated hardwood flooring. It has been a while since Amy and Chris have been living in their Hillsboro house. Well, Marek works in the field of real estate. Hence, he is driven to find the best houses for himself and his wife. As Amy Roloff is quite close to her audience, she often hosts an Ask Anything session for them. That's where she revealed that she and her husband plan on moving. Her first update had the LPBW star saying she was looking for properties in Oregon itself. Later, Amy's daughter-in-law Tori also made a post. She explained convincing the letter to move to Washington in a house close to her and Zach and their kids, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah. While nothing is final as of now, Amy did mention she might consider doing so in the hunt for an ideal property. So, do you like Amy and Chris's current Oregon house? Amy and Chris have been prime examples in the world of reality TV in terms of how love can be found at any age. The former was married to Matt Roloff for more than a decade, and it ended badly, as evident in Little People Big World. The LPBW matriarch still didn't give up on love. She found Chris Marek, and their friendship bloomed into a romantic relationship. It has only been a little bit over 2 years since Amy and Chris tied the knot. Everyone was happy to see how dedicated they were to spending their happily ever after with each other. Amidst this, the couple mentioned in a new episode that they are planning to look for a retirement home for themselves. Amy and Chris showcase their lives on Little People Big World in great detail. The new episode focused on a new dream they wanted to conquer together. The latter started off by saying that after seeing Matt build his dream house, the couple realized they were far from buying their own dream retirement home. So the LPBW couple took everyone on a tour as they looked at a huge property in Oregon. The place had a 6-car garage and was spread across 10,000 square feet. Chris admitted that the place was way off their budget, but if they end up liking the place enough, they will find a way to afford it. Amy also expressed that the house was bigger than they needed, but that it was right up their alley. While she admired the property, which was 6 acres, the thought of its maintenance caused her worry. The spaciousness also impressed Chris, who said that their potential home looked even better than the pictures. The LPBW star also said that the home could be a good venue for weddings, as there were not a lot of people around, and it was a beautiful farmland. At the same time, Amy mentioned she didn't want to be that person who would have to work until she was 85 just to afford this place. The idea of buying such a home together really excited Amy. She said that she and Chris were still at a stage where they were learning about each other. Hence, buying a home so big would be one of the biggest decisions they would make together. So how the LPBW couple would end up working with one another was pretty interesting for Amy. At last, Amy compared the potential property with the big house at Roloff Farms, which was a little over 500 square feet. She thought the latter property also had plenty of space. Do you think Chris and Amy should go ahead and buy this dream house? Little People Big World spoilers reveal that fans are confused about what is going on with Chris Marek and Amy Roloff these days. When Amy and Chris got married, they moved into their new home, but there has been some speculation that they are moving once again. Have they moved into a bigger house? Did they leave Oregon? Let's dive deeper to find out more about where they are right now. In 2019, Amy was keeping her fans updated on buying a bigger home and one in her price range. She and Chris actually found the perfect home for them, and they have been doing some renovations to it to make it the way that they wanted. The house is 4,000 square feet and it cost them about $600,000. When they moved into the home, she talked about how much she loved the neighborhood, and she had to get used to the subtle differences though. Amy still had a lot of stuff in storage though, and her fans wanted to know if she needed yet another bigger home. Chris and Amy lived separately until they were married, and it was nice for them to finally have a home together. Their house seemed incredibly nice, and it looked as if they had everything they needed. All of these questions came out during Amy's newest Facebook Live video with her best friend, Lisa. Amy shared a Facebook Live with her fans this past week. As she was talking to Lisa, fans began to notice that things looked a little different in her kitchen. When one of her fans asked her if she has moved, she was quick to tell her fans that she would never move because she loves her home so much. However, she did mention to her fans that she was actively looking, but right now she loves her home. The couple would like something with a little more room, a little more space. They would also like to have about an acre of land. She added, "It's becoming very, very expensive out here." Amy said that if she and Chris end up moving, they will stay in the Pacific Northwest because that is where her kids and grandchildren are. As of right now, Amy is working on her business and promoting it. She is happy with her home right now, but if she and Chris could find more space and at a decent price, they just may buy and move. TLC's Little People Big World Season 24 showed how divided the Roloff family has become. Matt and Amy Roloff divorced in 2016 and moved on to new relationships. Amy Roloff married Chris Marek, and they regularly appear on the show. Recently, Matt took to Instagram to call out a fan who joked about Chris living in the new house he's building on Roloff Farms. Matt and Amy Roloff didn't remain extremely close after their divorce. The exes separated after 30 years of marriage, which wasn't easy, especially for Amy. With that said, the exes still live close to each other. Matt kept Roloff Farms post-divorce, buying Amy's half of the property. Amy moved just 15 minutes from Roloff Farms into her own place where she now lives with her husband, Chris Marek. Many Little People Big World fans didn't expect Chris and Matt to get along, but Amy's new husband and ex-husband spend a lot of time together. Chris helps with pumpkin season at Roloff Farms, and he and Matt spend time together without Amy present. Chris even shared Matt and Caryn Chandler's future engagement plans with Entertainment Tonight. "I think they're definitely going to get married," Chris said. "We don't know exactly when. They're going to keep it kind of low-key. Matt's already shared that with me. It'll be kind of low-key and small." Little People Big World Season 24 focused on the future of Roloff Farms. Matt Roloff hoped to sell some of Roloff Farms within the family, but neither Jeremy nor Zach Roloff wanted to purchase the property for Matt's asking price. Ultimately, Matt chose to make Roloff Farms into a short-term rental, and he's now building a new home on the property. Given how frequently Matt and Caryn Chandler discuss engagement, Matt's likely building this new home for Caryn to live in. But fans on Instagram joked that Matt's massive new home could also fit his new best friend, Chris Marek. Amy Roloff hopes a move is in her future. Here's what she told Little People Big World fans about potentially moving to a bigger house with Chris Marek. TLC's Little People Big World Season 24 showed how fractured the Roloff family became over Roloff Farms. Amy Roloff sold her half of Roloff Farms to Matt Roloff. Now Matt has the farm property up for short-term rental. Amy spoke on Instagram Live recently and mentioned some future plans involving Chris Marek. Here's what she said about moving. Amy Roloff used to live in the large farmhouse on Roloff Farms. In Little People, Big World Season 24, she toured her old home one final time before Matt Roloff put the farm up for short-term rental. She certainly has her feelings about the rental plan, and she even mentioned that she would have fought harder to buy Matt out if she knew the farm's legacy would end this way. Now that Amy doesn't live on Roloff Farms, where does she reside? Amy and Chris Marek live in Hillsboro, Oregon, just 15 minutes from the farm property. In Touch Weekly notes, the home has 4 bedrooms, an open floor plan, a master suite, and plenty of room for her grandchildren to enjoy. I try and have my grandkids, Jackson, have a good time at my house because they're at Mimi's house and it's a very short time, Amy said in Little People Big World episode. So I want to make it fun, I want to make it special, and it made me feel good that he had the best Mimi in the world. What grandma doesn't want to hear that? While Amy Roloff seems happy in her home away from Roloff Farms, she doesn't plan on staying there forever. She previously mentioned that she'd love more room for her and Chris Marek, and Amy repeated this during an Instagram Live in January 2023. Eventually, Chris and I will continue to look to see if we ever do find a place that we'd like to move to, Amy said. A little bigger property or a little bigger space. I mentioned that before. So yeah, who knows. Amy, 57, took a trip to her hometown in Michigan to see her family and friends. She shared the photos of her trip to her Instagram. Amy captioned the post, "In Michigan for just a few days, but so worth it to visit with my dad, be with family and celebrate the marriage of my nephew and wife's marriage. God is good and I'm so thankful I got to come." After her post, Little People, Big World fans asked why her husband was missing from the festivities. One person asked, "Beautiful photos, but where is Chris?" Another fan added, "Amy, where did you leave Chris?" Amy responded to fans in the comments section, explaining Chris's whereabouts. "I know many of you asked where Chris was. We both took the time to visit each of our families, so he was visiting his family in Idaho," Amy explained, noting that things are good between the couple. "It is all a good thing. We're thankful we each got to take the time to visit family." The couple got married last year in her former home, Roloff Farms in Oregon. Amy and Chris, 60, have shared how happy they've been since getting married. Just recently, Amy celebrated Chris on Instagram for his 60th birthday. "To say you changed my life is an understatement. You let me be me, and yet I continue to learn and grow within myself to continue to strive to be my best," Amy wrote in the caption under a photo of her and Chris. "You're my partner today and riding into the sunset. You're my love and my friend." The Little People, Big World star concluded her loving post by saying she's happy that he chose her. More of us, appreciating each other and moments being together, adventures, bird watching, riding the motorcycles, games, walks, and discovering something new about ourselves and each other. I celebrate you because you're an awesome man, and I'm happy you chose me and you're a part of my life. Little People, Big World fans took some of Amy's words as a diss to her ex-husband, Matt Roloff, since he didn't let her express herself during their time together. Amy recently praised Marek in another post after he built her a patio area for her garden. The TLC star documented the process in a series of photos and captioned it, "My new little patio area that Chris built for my little herb garden in our backyard. He did such an amazing job. I love it." Little People Big World couple Amy Roloff and Chris Marek have been married for nearly 1 year, and the newlyweds recently opened up about life as Mr. and Mrs. Marek. Last August, Amy and Chris tied the knot on Roloff Farms in front of 146 of their closest friends and family members. Amy and Chris have been living in their first shared home in Hillsboro, Oregon, near the farm. After deciding she wanted to begin her life with Chris on new turf, Amy sold her ex-husband Matt Roloff her portion of the farm. The couple recently sat down to chat with Us Weekly's Christina Garibaldi about their life as a married couple. Christina asked the couple how married life was treating them, and Amy answered first. "Well, I think it's treating us great. It feels comfortable, it feels new. I keep learning about Chris and each other and, stuff, and we keep adjusting and he'll say compromising." Chris added his 2 cents. Well, I mean, so far, no big surprises or anything that I wasn't prepared for. There's obviously still a little bit of a learning curve going on, but we're enjoying life. We're having fun. As far as the biggest compromise each of them has made in their marriage, Amy again answered first. She noted that she's a little bit more chaotic than Chris and needed more time adjusting to Chris's more orderly nature. She said that Chris's neatness, coupled with her messiness, sometimes clashes. LPBW viewers will remember last season when Chris gave Amy an ultimatum he wouldn't set a date for their wedding until she decluttered the house before he moved in. For his part, Chris's biggest adjustment has been getting used to sharing his space with someone else after living the bachelor life for so many years. He and Amy agreed that it's okay that they do things differently. Not everything about being newlyweds is uncomfortable, however. Amy and Chris noted the best things about marriage so far. I think, just sharing the small moments together. Getting up in the morning, having a cup of coffee, what are you doing during the day, and, sharing a meal together. I mean, sometimes it's a lot about the small moments, Amy shared, noting she and Chris are planning their longest motorcycle trip yet to Alaska later this year. Chris added, "And for me, life is just, richer and more interesting sharing those day-to-day things and becoming closer with Amy's family and grandkids. It's just really added an extra element to my life that I never had before. Though the decision was not easy, Amy did sell her portion of the farm to her ex-husband, Matt. However, she took her time. One of the reasons I stayed in the big house is because that was in my best interest going through separation, divorce, and I think I needed time to say that I had a permanency, I had a place, I had something that I could hang on to, grasp, in order to figure out I'm officially divorced," Amy said on the show. According to Oregon property records exclusively obtained by RadarOnline.com, Amy sold her portion of the property to ex-husband Matt for $667,000. The sale was made on June 25, 2019. She then sold an additional 32.28 acres to him for $975,000 in August 2020. Meanwhile, Matt and his girlfriend, Caryn Chandler, remain on their portion of Roloff Farms. According to RadarOnline.com, Amy bought a home in Hillsboro, Orr, in September 2019 that was sold to her by her real estate broker fiancé, Chris Marek. She reportedly bought the home for $588,500. The outlet also noted that the new space has 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, along with a spacious kitchen. With the sale of her portion of the farm and her purchase of a new home, it still looks like Amy has some cash left over. So how is she planning on spending it? RadarOnline.com reports that Amy's new home may need some renovations to make it a bit more little person friendly, so there's a possibility some of her cash could go to that. There is also the chance that the profits could go toward a second marriage to her fiancé, Chris Marek. It's safe to say that the TLC reality star is not hurting for money. According to Celebrity Net Worth, the reality star is worth around $6 million. This is mostly due to Amy's impressive 22-season stint on the hit TLC show Little People, Big World. Going by Business Insider estimations of reality star salaries, it's possible that Amy's gross income per episode is around $7,000 to $10,000. Outside of her reality TV income, Amy still worked on the Roloff farm, which is estimated to bring in 30,000 visitors annually, according to the Cinemaholic. Amy has also taken advantage of her reality TV fame and monetized her popularity. She authored the cookbook Short and Simple Family Recipes, as well as a memoir titled A Little Me. There is also the money she made during her 2016 divorce settlement, in which she got an equal split of her and Matt's 4 companies: R6 Productions, Roloff Family Farms, R Pumpkin Productions, and Roloff Properties. Chris Marek and Amy Roloff are finally husband and wife. The couple got married in a stunning grand wedding ceremony on the famous Roloff Farms. However, the lovebirds had moved in together months before they actually got married. Their entire storyline feels nothing less than a fairy tale, and their luxurious house adds to it. The huge Oregon house has called in a lot of attention after the couple's wedding, and more Little People Big World viewers are looking for details about it. Hence, here is everything you need to know about Amy and Chris's house. Even though Amy Roloff's wedding ceremony wasn't featured in the previous season, Fans got to see her move in with Chris in their stunning Oregon home. While the entire process was long and stretched as the LPBW matriarch couldn't make enough space for her fiancé at that time, Chris even called Amy out for her unhygienic habits and the nature of procrastination. This welcomed a lot of negative comments about the TLC star's lifestyle. However, the couple eventually sorted things out, and Marek finally shifted into Amy's place. Ever since, the two of them have been living happily in their paradise house and now as a married couple. As per a report by The Sun, Amy and Chris's house costs around $589K and is situated in Hillsboro, Oregon. The house is closer to Little People Big World patriarch Matt Roloff's farm, which would be convenient as they have to film for the TLC show.